And once again, very good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School. We are down to the final 3 games of the night. We have back-to-back semifinal matchups for you, and then we will finish out with the second of the 5th place semifinal games. We begin with the first semifinal of the night as we feature the MacArthur Generals taking on the Belleville East Lancers. Following that, we'll have Rockford East versus Quincy in the other semifinal, and then Collinsville taking on Collierville, Tennessee in the second 5th place semifinal of the day, and the winner of that game will move on to play Lincoln for 5th place tomorrow morning at 2:30. The loser will move on and try to battle for 7th place against O'Fallon at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But first things first, let's get you set for this game between MacArthur and Belleville East. MacArthur got here by virtue of a win yesterday morning, over Madison 67-39. MacArthur then handled O'Fallon earlier today 59-51 in quarterfinal action. Belleville East, they downed McClure North in the 3rd game of day number 1, 49-40, and then Belleville East dispatched of Lincoln in fine fashion, 42-28, holding Lincoln to 28 points. Lincoln just turned around and pretty much did the same thing to O'Fallon just a little while ago. Only 22 points in a game for O'Fallon. They came precariously close to setting a record for the least amount of points scored in a game here. Now, Alton scored 17 last year. Before that, Madison scored 18. I believe that was 2011. And tell you what, O'Fallon got close in that one, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Just an incredibly well defensively played game. I think when we saw Lincoln on day 1, we're like, okay, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They might be able to give the Belleville East Lancers a game, and they did, but they didn't play their best game against Belleville East. Today we saw the real Lincoln, and I believe, we talked about the shot clock being in effect for Lincoln's slow offense. When offenses like O'Fallon can't shoot the 3 and aren't able to get any good rebounds, that hurts the Lancers, or not the Lancers, but that hurts the opposing teams that Lincoln are playing quite a bit. And so that shot clock has been kind of beneficial in some ways and not beneficial in other ways for Lincoln. But a great game from them today. They're the real deal, Todd. They could definitely make some noise in the 3A state tournament and probably win 5th place maybe in this tournament.
They could very well do just that. We have a battle of the blue teams going on here for this one. Belleville East Lancers, they will be headed by Jeff Creek, and the MacArthur Generals, Tyrese Bryson. And here are your starters. For the MacArthur Generals, Chase Cunningham, the 6'1" senior. Azarian Richardson, the 6'3" senior. Chris Walker, the 6'4" senior. Makai Wright, the 6'7" senior. And Steve Tatum, the 6'2" junior. For Belleville East, Jordan Pickett, the 6'4" senior on the floor, along with another 6'4" senior, Antwine Wilson. Darian Singleton is a 6'1" senior. Mason Mosley, a 5'10" senior, and Alex Jackson, a 6'5" senior. There's going to be a lot of moving parts here next year when Belleville East and MacArthur return for this tournament. You're not going to see these players next year.
No, you're not. And obviously, when you guys, a lot of people are tuning in right now, they see Jordan Pickett. Oh, yeah, he's going to SIUE. He's the D1 player. He's the star. But the player that has really led the Belleville East Lancers this far, Antwine Wilson. He's had 2 double-digit games. I believe he's led the Lancers in points in both games. And so MacArthur obviously want to make sure they stop Jordan Pickett. But you've always got to be careful about Antwine Wilson, a good 3-point shooter and a great rebounder.
Antwine Wilson, 34 points in the game so far here in this tournament. Right behind him is Jordan Pickett with 28. On the other side, you can't talk about the MacArthur Generals without talking about Makai Wright. He leads his team with 25 points. Chase Cunningham, he's only 1 point behind him with 24. And Arizona Richardson, he has 21 points. So you already got 3 MacArthur Generals in 20-point land.
Yeah, Azarian Richardson has been a great player. The reason why MacArthur's made the semifinals, they're versatile and they play the game fast. They're going to have a lot of points in the paint. They're going to get up and down. They don't just play awesome offense, but they play super exciting defense. They take pride in their defensive game. And we saw Belleville East today. They beat a very good Lincoln squad. They're going to have to play a full 4 quarters today, a very good full 4 quarters, in order to take care of the Decatur MacArthur Generals and try to beat them. That's the problem that Belleville East has had in a couple of these games. They had that problem against McClure North. They had that problem against Althoff earlier in the season. They have to be there right from the tip. If they sleepwalk like O'Fallon did early on, it's going to be rough for them.
Decatur MacArthur has outscored their opponents 126-90. Meanwhile, Belleville East has only scored 91 points, so that plays right into the hands of the Decatur MacArthur Generals. Belleville East has allowed 68 points. We are underway. That tip is going to go out of bounds, and we'll start over, pretty much. Not with the opening tip, but
it looks like MacArthur will have the basketball in their white uniforms for today.
Yeah, they have the white uniforms on, got the checkerboard pattern down the sides in blue and white. Numbers on the backs and the fronts are in blue. They have the word MacArthur written across the fronts of their jerseys. Belleville East, they're in here in their road jerseys, the dark blue jerseys. Numbers on the back just trimmed in a little bit of that sky blue color. That is really the color of the Belleville East Lancers, and they have Lancers written across the fronts of their jerseys. Miss on the shot. Rebound belongs to Belleville East. Pickett brings it up. He gets it into the hands of Mosley, and then a tipped ball, and that ends up going out of bounds, and MacArthur will have another chance here to score the first points of this game.
Tell you what, it's a little stop-start at the beginning here, but just like we've seen in MacArthur in these first two games, it's going to be up and down the roller coaster team of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Strap your seatbelts in, Todd.
Make sure you do. Fasten it very tightly. My name is Todd Duke, by the way, in case I didn't mention that. That's Matt Clark on the other microphone. Just met your dad, Matt. He stopped by to say hi and thank you for letting you do some games.
It's been a fantastic opportunity and so fun to be able to do games like this.
It is. Semifinal number 1, followed by semifinal number 2. Scramble on the floor. Belleville East wins that scramble. Here is Mosley. Mosley breaks in from the right wing, takes the shot. Grabbing that right off the glass was Micaiah Wright, and that's another thing that he can do defensively. Here comes a three-point try by MacArthur, and our first points of this game belong to Stevie Tatum, and it's 3-0 in favor of the Generals.
Yeah, Tatum hasn't shot in the ball very well, but he does shoot the three with a lot of confidence. If he starts getting hot, it's going to be tough for the Belleville East Lancers to guard him and all of the other Generals on the floor.
Here comes Mosley. He'll bring it up over on the far side, cut back toward the middle, over the K-Hawk logo, crossover dribble. Now he's into the paint, dumps it off underneath, and a little hook shot won't fall in for Jackson, and the loose ball belongs to MacArthur. They'll bring it up over on the left side, and they'll give it to Tatum. Tatum will come out of the left side and start heading toward the middle of the floor, but then he backs all the way up to that near sideline. 3-0 here early on. MacArthur in the lead. We're just underway. 6:10 left to go here in quarter number 1. Bounce pass just outside the lane, and that's where they find Chris Walker. Walker gives it up to Wright. Wright underneath the basket for Tatum. Tatum almost mishandled that ball into the corner. Big arching three-point shot by Richardson. And it is quickly 6-0 in favor of MacArthur. Here is Pickett. Almost fell down as he went down there, but he got the ball to Jackson, and Jackson puts in the first bucket of the game for Belleville East. It's 6-2 MacArthur.
MacArthur didn't particularly shoot the ball well last tournament. If they do, they win basketball games here.
Rebound on that missed shot by Belleville East, and Jordan Pickett brings the ball up. Pickett has been relatively quiet here in this game, in this tournament. Only 28 points. He's scored 28 points in games before.
Had 40 in the last game of last tournament against Oakville back in here, and maybe because of more difficult opponents for Jordan Pickett. I mean, when you're playing against a McClure North team and you kind of played cold during that game, and then you're playing against Lincoln, and Lincoln's not going to let very many players score above 10, 15 points.
Jordan Pickett at the free throw line. He is 10 for 10 from the line in this tournament, now 11 for 11.
Great free throw shooter, Jordan Pickett. That just adds another dimension to the game. I remember when he hit 4 free throws consecutive in our regional championship against Granite City last year. Played for the Collinsville K-Hawks, and he had a foul, and it was double bonus, and then he hit the technical foul free throw, so it's a huge swing in the game, and that's what he can do.
All 12 free throws have fallen in so far in this tournament for Jordan Pickett. And it's a 2-point contest. MacArthur on the strength of 2 3-point shots. They lead 6-4, and they have the ball. Here is Walker. Walker up underneath the basket, trying to feed it into Wright. Tried to thread a needle, and that needle was very thin. Into the paint. Shot taken. No good. Wilson. Rebound. That belongs to Belleville East as well. Here comes Mosley with a 3. That one rattles out as well. And the rebound again, belonged to Alec Jackson for Belleville East, but he then threw the ball away. Here comes MacArthur and Tatum. Tatum already across the line. And he gives it up to Cunningham. Cunningham back to Tatum. He'll launch another three, and he'll hit the fat part of the iron. Comes down for Jackson. Jackson gives to Pickett, and Pickett slowly lobs it on over for Mosley. Mosley, he'll dribble, almost lost the ball, and then he gets pushed out of bounds, but he had the wherewithal to get rid of the ball first. And then that was a close job keeping that one in by Wilson. Wilson then drives, and he is fouled, and he will go to the free throw line.
Yep, good job by Belleville East to keep that possession alive right there. Obviously, he didn't make the basket, but Antoine Wilson hustling over there, making sure he gets the basketball and driving in at the best opportunity.
Antoine Wilson just 1 for 2 from the free throw line here in this tournament thus far. First shot on the way, and that one rattles and then falls out to the right-hand side.
Yeah, and Antoine Wilson didn't have a lot of minutes last year. I mean, he started later in the tournament, but he only had 11 minutes versus Madison. Didn't make a shot in that game. That was in Belleville East's first-round loss last season, and they only played 8 minutes for the rest of the tournament. Now, suddenly, he's one of the 2 best players for the Lancers.
Next one by Wilson also misses. And the rebound belongs to MacArthur. They bring it up. Here is Chase Cunningham, and Cunningham gets fouled, almost pushed out of bounds. Mark Parker, the Collinsville graduate, making that call, one of the officials here for this first semifinal game.
And by the way, fantastic officiating crews today. You know, it's a fantastic deal. They've done a great job. We always have some fantastic officials here, and really not a ton of bad calls. I mean, obviously the traveling violations were a little bit frustrating in the Collinsville-Rockford East game. I could just hear you and Dr. Chris talking about that. Still, good refereeing here, I believe.
Yeah, I've not had a problem with it except for that. And I talked things over with Eric Anderson, the assistant coach, after the game, and he's like, yeah, we saw it too. Yeah, it's 8-4. MacArthur has doubled up Belleville East. Here is Jordan Pickett. He'll dump it off. Three-point shot on the way. That one misses the mark, and the rebound belongs to MacArthur. They'll bring it on up in the form of Walker. Walker gets it into the hands of Richardson. Richardson throws it up off the rim. No good. And a whistle will stop the action.
Going to be a foul on Stevie Tatum there. And he's been in foul trouble multiple times for the MacArthur Generals in this tournament.
Tatum picks up his first, his team's third. Lancers only have 1 foul on the board as of yet. Inbound pass brought in, and a loose ball, but there was Pickett to pick up the roller. He'll give to Mosley. Mosley across the timeline at midcourt. Brings it over to the left wing. One-arm pass over to the top of the key for Wilson. Wilson gives it up, and wow, see, that was a travel right there that wasn't called either.
Maybe. But Belleville East keeps possession there. Good play by Mosley there.
That's another foul.
That's a foul right there.
You can't hip check people. That's only allowed in hockey.
Yes. And you do hockey as well, so you would know.
I
do.
The
K-Hawk hockey team.
Yeah. Blues versus the Blackhawks tonight. That gets underway in about an hour. I'm almost oblivious as to what's going on in the outside world. When you spend 13 hours in a gymnasium every day, you are almost oblivious to what goes on. But I did see that soccer legend Pele passed away today, so that's kind of sad.
Yeah, that was all over the internet. A bit of an unfortunate one. Pele will always be remembered.
He was not doing well. He was sick. 82 years old, I believe, was what he was. And our wishes go out to the family of the great legendary soccer player Pele, 3-time World Cup champ. 3:03 left to play here in this opening quarter. 8-4. We've had some low-scoring quarters here recently, have we?
Yeah, and I just think this one, both teams are really focused on their defensive effort over their offensive effort. And, you know, none of the big players for either team has really been able to get going offensively. I just think right now MacArthur has a couple more offensive players that are doing a little bit better.
Here is Cunningham. Cunningham slices to the free throw line, gives to Tatum. Back to Cunningham, and he is fouled, and that one is going to go against Tallis Lowry. O'Fallon scoring 0 points in the third quarter in that game you guys did. I couldn't believe it.
No, I couldn't believe it either, but I almost could believe it. I mean, it was against the Lincoln Rail Splitters, and they would be the only team you would think of. Oh, who could give up 0 points? Yeah, the Lincoln Rail Splitters.
That's true. That was a travel right off the inbound pass, so a turnover. And Antoine Wilson will take charge of the inbound pass for Belleville East.
I have a feeling that this game's going to get a lot more fast and quick and exciting here once both of these teams feel each other out. They're just getting to know them, getting acquainted with each other before they try to really make runs in this game.
Sorry, that was Lowry with that inbound pass. Here is Pickett outside the lane. Tries to He went into the paint backwards and tried to just flip the ball over his head and hope that it went in, but it ends up being a turnover. Back the other way we go. Here comes Tatum. Tatum gives the ball to Wright. Wright into the paint. Back outside. Tatum for three. Rattles but won't fall.
Tatum's been really unlucky with some of those three-pointers.
There is Mosley. He brings the ball up off the heel of his shoe. Almost went to the backcourt,
yeah, it's
but
double
now
dribble.
he double dribbles.
To MacArthur bench. If that one hadn't been called, they would have gone absolutely nuts, I think.
Well, you know what? Tyrese Bryson goes absolutely nuts almost every play anyway.
Yep.
He's very animated. Most animated coach out here.
But it kind of goes to show you, he coaches hard because he wants his players to play hard. He's almost like working. He'd probably be sweating at the end of the game.
I'm sure
Tyrese
he is.
Bryson. Like he's almost playing in the game, and he was a great player himself back in the day.
Here are the MacArthur Generals, still up by that same score of 8-4. It's been a while since we've seen a bucket. And the MacArthur Generals have Richardson with the ball, and he's out at the midcourt logo, looking for a little help, finds it in the form of Cunningham. Cunningham with 1:40 left to go here in this first quarter, and now we're going to have another foul, and it's going to go back the other way. Parker slapping his knee. Was somebody get kneed?
Yep, looks like it was an illegal screen. Sometimes when you having a screen there, you can't go too wide and bump knee to knee. Try to stop the defending player from getting around the screen, and he used his knee right there, the MacArthur General, who picked up the foul. That was Sam Owens.
Sam Owens. Here's Pickett. Pickett throws it inside, finds Jackson. Jackson throws it in the corner. Here comes a three-point shot. That one's a little bit too far. Hits the inside of the rim from the vantage point of the shooter. And here comes Richardson. He throws up a promise and a prayer. That was not answered. Here comes Pickett. Pickett flying down the left side. He's into the paint. Free throw line. Takes a shot. It's good. And a blocking foul coming up against King D's.
Jordan Pickett is a great player, but he is an even better player in transition. And unfortunately, MacArthur cannot afford to just allow him to waltz into the paint there. He'll always make those shots. And you know what? Jordan Pickett, this is a tough game. He's going against some rough, tough-minded players from Decatur MacArthur. He's going to have to play a good game if he's want to win.
Pickett back at the free throw line. And he is now 13 of 13 from the free throw line. 1:09 left to go here in this first quarter. 8-7. Generals lead by 1. They were up 6-0 at one point after back-to-back three-point shots. Tatum gives the ball up now for Wright. Back to Tatum. And Stevie Tatum almost lost that ball, and then he probably got away with a travel. Picked up back out front, and here comes Owen. He'll take the shot, and that one will row in for Sam Owens, and back to a three-point lead for the Generals. And we're down to the final 40 seconds of this first quarter. Here is Darian Singleton. Singleton brings it up into the paint. Dipsy doodle reverse layup, wouldn't go, ball out of bounds, and that's a turnover. It'll go back into the hands of the Generals.
And Darian Singleton has had a really rough tournament for Belleville East. The Mascoutah transfer, who was a great player for a good Indian squad last season. I remember hearing about him. And he's had multiple opportunities to help the Lancers get these points. And he just hasn't been able to finish. Couldn't finish the layup there. Had a three-pointer a minute ago. He's got to play better. And some of these Lancers have to step up just a little bit more. Him and Mosley in particular, the transfers. But they've never played in this tournament, so they don't know what stakes there are and what it takes to win it.
Dees got that ball into Tatum. Tatum gets it across the line quickly. Shot clock not involved here as we're down to the final 25 seconds of this quarter. Tatum all the way out at the midcourt stripe, trying to make his move. Throws a pass over to Dees. Dees dribbles, trying to look for some room in the perimeter. Nothing there. Kick it back out to Richardson. We're down to the final 10 seconds of this first quarter. Richardson, left-hand dribble. Parallel with the midcourt stripe. Moves over to the left wing. Back over to the right side. Picked off by Pickett. Here is Jordan Pickett off the glass. Can't get it to go at the buzzer. And we'll end with 10-7 in favor of the MacArthur Generals after one quarter of play. Quarter number 2 comes your way next on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Hello, everybody. This is Mike Ogle with Ogle Auctions, and we hope you are enjoying tonight's game. And go K-Hawks! Hey, check us out. Every Sunday night, we have an online auction at www.ogleauctions.com. Everything from grandma's china to grandma's motorcycle helmet. It's all here at Ogle Auctions every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Check us out, and we will see you soon.
Herald Square and Cold Herald, two great additions to the Collinsville landscape. Next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, Herald Square is a new outdoor multi-use event space in Collinsville. Concerts, fun and games, farmer markets, and so much more. Herald Square, a great space for Collinsville's future. And, just off the square's turf, Cold Herald, old-fashioned scooped ice cream gelato, house-made recipes, and premium-sourced product. If you're over 21, ask about the good stuff at Cold Herald. Watch Collinsville grow. Herald Square and Cold Herald, two great new additions, only in Collinsville, Illinois.
A trip to the finals on the line here. Semi-final number 1 between Belleville East and the defending champion MacArthur Generals. MacArthur obviously trying to get to the championship game for the second year in a row. Lancers are trying to get there for the first time in a while.
Yeah, this game was kind of circled. We knew both of these teams would be pretty good, and both of them are undefeated. The only two undefeated teams coming into the tournament, and they've stayed that way. And I was enjoyed. I was really excited for this game, but I don't think either team has played quite particularly well yet because of the decent defense that both sides are playing.
I had this exact bracket in the semifinal, these two teams meeting up. So that part of my bracket is still intact. The rest of it, not so much. Here is an outlet pass that's going to be picked up by Richardson. Richardson, after another Belleville East turnover, gives it up to Dees. He shoots a three-pointer. No good. There is Wright. He's safe.
That's
wow.
one of the best saves I think I've ever seen right there.
What,
underhand.
Man.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to go for 2.
Underhand
Woo!
And backwards behind the back save. Belleville East turned that into 2 points when it was Mekhi Wright's rebound.
Yeah,
all the way.
That's kind of the stuff that people want to see. Great play, great save there. Almost like a Decatur MacArthur type play for the East Lancers.
And a ball on the ground. Jump ball, possession arrow in favor of MacArthur.
That's exactly what Jeff Creek wants to see, and he was really excited about that on the bench. And finally, we're seeing Mosley and Darian Singleton starting to get it done. And they may not have it on the offensive end right now, but they've got to guard and be pests on the defensive end against these general guards who are pretty good.
Cunningham, he'll trigger the inbound pass near the midcourt line, and he'll do so in the backcourt to Dees. Dees will bounce the ball over to Tatum. Tatum brings the ball up across the timeline and gives it back to Dees. Dees back to Tatum. Tatum thought about that three. Gives it up for Wright. Wright will take the shot from the top of the key. No good. Oh, what a nice rebound that was for Cunningham. And Cunningham fighting his way out of a double team. Gives it to Tatum for 3. No good.
Foul off the ball here on the rebound. That's going to be against Mosley. He had a couple of rough times in the rebound department there. The transfer from Vashon gave up that earlier offensive rebound. And it'll stay with the Generals, as it looks like.
6:44 left to play here in this first half. 10-9. That's it. 10-9 contest. 1 point lead for the Generals of MacArthur High School out of Decatur. And now we're going to have a substitution. MJ Murphy will come in for Chase Cunningham. Murphy will now trigger the inbound pass underneath of his own basket, and he gets it into the hands of Walker, who fires it over to Tatum. Tatum backs up toward the midcourt stripe, works his way toward the top of the key, and gives it back up for Walker, who puts one up from just inside the perimeter. Rebound, that belongs to Darian Singleton. Singleton brings it up himself in the paint, takes the off-balance shot, can't get it to fall. That was well off of the mark. Tatum, he hauls down the rebound and quickly gives the ball to Chris Walker, and Walker banks it off the glass for 2. 3-point lead back intact for MacArthur, and now we're going to have a foul call. This one's going to go against MJ Murphy.
Yeah, well, we just saw an example of what to do against a post player when you're trying to go for a layup against him and what not to do against the big man going up against him, as looks like the Lancers will shoot in the bonus here. And so, you know, Darian Singleton tried to go outside, tried to finish with his right hand. He's done that twice. Mekhi Wright's length has really frustrated him. And then, of course, on the other side, the MacArthur guard coming in, finishing strong. That's Chris Walker, the experienced player. And he goes right into Jackson. He doesn't care that Jackson has 5 or 6 inches on him. He goes in and gets the bucket and scores.
Mosley is 2 for 4 from the free throw line in this tournament so far, and he'll hit that one and stay up for a bonus. 7th foul already on the board for the Generals. Only 3 up there for the Lancers. And Mosley ready to shoot one more free throw, see if he can get his team to within 1, and he does just that. So now 4 for 6 for Mosley from the free throw line. We're going to have a player substitution as Tajay Montgomery.
Assistant coach Keith Padgett was screaming to make sure that that Darian Singleton got off the bench. They wanted to set up this press that East is taking right now.
MacArthur inbounds the ball. And a bounce pass. And then across the line to Tatum. Tatum. Oh, a little alley-oop try by Makai Wright, but that was a little off the mark, so couldn't get a true one. Mosley will come down all the way off the glass.
Wow!
That's blocked off the glass. And then back the other way we go. Here comes MacArthur. Chris Walker into the hands of Richardson. And Richardson at the top of the key gives it up. Tatum for 3 more, and there you go. Been a while. Tatum's been trying all tournament long to hit those 3-pointers, and that one finally pays off.
Some up and down action there. That's what we were expecting. And Stevie Tatum, if you're going to leave him wide open, he's going to continue to try shooting 3, and he's going to make a couple of those.
There's Mosley across the timeline, being watched like a hawk there by Murphy. Bounces it in, trying to bounce it into Jackson, but Jackson wasn't ready for it. So a turnover. MacArthur trying to capitalize, and they'll do just that after a putback rebound by Makai Wright. A timeout has been called on the floor, a 60-second timeout, so we'll step aside for that long as well. Back in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future. To create your inheritance. To build your vision. To anticipate the known and unknown. And to find potential in both. And build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton or call 618-467-8420. Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke and Matt Clark with you. Semifinal number 1 between MacArthur and Belleville East. Myself and Zach Roseman will have the next quarterfinal between Rockford East and Quincy. And then Dr. McCluskey and I will be back with you for the 5th place semifinal game number 2 between Collinsville and Collierville, Tennessee.
Tell you what, Decatur MacArthur here in these last 3 minutes. Obviously in the first quarter they were kind of getting used to the game, growing themselves in, but these last couple of minutes have been Decatur MacArthur basketball, getting up and down the floor, frustrating Belleville East on defense like there are right now.
That's a nice give and go by Pickett, and a foul will send Antwine Wilson to the free throw line.
I'll tell you, and I'll also say this, they stuck to Jordan Pickett like glue. He got free one time on the transition, but in the half-court set, Jordan Pickett has been extraordinarily frustrated.
I bet he is.
And Jeff Creek trying to give him some advice here on the left side. You won't be able to see that on our screen. Still, they're going to need him to lead here. You know, in his senior year, this Belleville East team facing some adversity, a team that plays similarly to them.
Oof.
Wilson misses the
couldn't get it to fall. Just rattled.
MacArthur always seemed to be the team that things are going right for, the team that can always keep their energy. Even when things aren't going well, they're able to bring it back to them. You know, the energy is infectious. And it helped them win the tournament last year, and it's helping them do well this year.
Second free throw was good for Wilson, and that gets Belleville East back to within 5. We are under 5 minutes to play here in this first half. MacArthur, they work the ball up court. Here is MJ Murphy. Murphy had that ball knocked out of his hands momentarily by Mosley, and then he couldn't finish. He just kind of didn't lift the ball up all the way. That ball is knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Belleville East.
Everybody pretty much stopped there, all 10 players. I thought the referee was going to call a jump ball, and he didn't. Good job by the referee there. It wasn't fully tied up at all. Anything, it probably would have been a foul on MJ Murphy.
Inbound pass comes into Pickett. He works it up across the line with 4.5 to go here in this first half. Over onto the left wing is Pickett. Right-hand dribble. He's got those long arms. He can keep that ball away from the opponent. Now Jackson into the corner. Three-point shot on the way. And that's nothing but net for Antoine Wilson. And that gets Belleville East back to within 2.
Big three-point shot from Antoine Wilson. That's a nice three-point shot, and, hit it while he was contested as well.
There is Tatum. Over to the other side, and that one almost was out of bounds. I thought for a moment Richardson's toe was on that purple stripe, but that was not called, and that allowed M.J. Murphy to come in and put away a 5-foot floater and spring MacArthur back to a 4-point lead. Here is Jordan Pickett for Belleville East. Stops. Three-point shot from the wing. Good!
And that's why Jordan Pickett is playing D1 basketball for Brian Baroni and SIUE. That is a tough shot, and he knows he's fired up about it now. He wants to go to the championship game.
19-18, 1-point contest. MacArthur with the lead. 3.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Here is a dribble by Richardson, and Richardson back at midcourt. Now he makes his move, throws it into the corner, and moving forward is Owens. Lost the ball, Wright found it, and off the glass for 2 more.
Yeah, Decatur MacArthur always getting those 50-50 balls right there. Belleville East had 2 players there, and neither of them could pick it up, and that's an easy 2. Can't have those in the semifinal of the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic if you're Belleville East.
Mosley kicks it off into the corner, and a shot from inside, and that one's good for Montgomery.
And for a guy who only scores 4 points a game, that's a pretty impressive shot from the
was.
elbow. They're finally both teams are finally starting to play some offense because neither want to give away the lead.
Starting to hit their shots, both teams are. Here is Richardson. He'll back it up a little bit. Rick Dees. King Dees is waiting to come in at next opportunity. And an underhand pass to Wright.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
Wright, top of the key. And here is Richardson again. Richardson on the outside wing. They're going to have to get this shot off. They can't do it, and that's going to be a turnover on the shot clock. Belleville East has a chance to take their first lead of this game.
Well, Belleville East took a page out of Decatur MacArthur's book with that suffocating defense, and Decatur MacArthur couldn't get anything going there. Belleville East has given up a couple of easy buckets, but they've had good defensive possessions here in these last couple of minutes.
There is Mosley. He had a head of steam heading down, then put on the brakes as soon as he crossed the line. 2:15 to go. Here is a three-point try. Pickett. Oh, that one just tips off the rim. Rebound belongs to the Lancers. They'll try to reset their offense. They'll bring it out front now for Wilson. Wilson, he tries to enter from the right wing, behind the back dribble, and a fingertip roll wouldn't go. Rebound, he gets it back, puts it up, still won't go. And then Jackson, he'll get fouled on the way up by Tatum on the last effort.
Well, Antoine Wilson, it wasn't a great shot, but again, he gets his own miss. And for the first time in a minute, Decatur MacArthur having a little bit of a tough time getting their own, making sure they get their rebounds, and it's allowing Belleville East opportunities in the paint. And now Alex Jackson, not the best free throw shooter, but, he's played a good role here today. Mekhi Wright has been kind of stifled by him defensively. He came back from a car crash that kept him out from the middle portion of the season, and it's good to have him back on the floor. East could use him in a lot of ways.
Alex Jackson, 1 for 2 from the free throw line in this tournament, and he'll miss. And the rebound belongs to MacArthur. 1 point lead by the Generals. They have the ball. Here is Cunningham back into the game, trying to do some damage. He gives the ball to Wright. Wright wants to hand it off, nowhere to go. He'll turn around, take a shot. He's like, why didn't I just do that to begin with, right?
Yeah, I don't know. This might be a weird comment, but I just saw Mekhi Wright has this really long hair. I can't even realize how he can barely see, and he's still making those elbow jumpers. He's got a really long hair. I imagine it gets in the middle of his eyes.
Sheepdogs can see. They have a bunch of hair down both of their eyes. There's a little roller by Belleville East. 1 point lead back for the Generals.
This is exactly what we wanted to see. A great game. Neither team letting it go. Super exciting.
That was my parents used to ask me that all the time when I was younger and I had long hair. How can you see with that hair in front of your eyes? I'm like, I have no problem seeing.
Now, there's a couple of players in this game that have done that, and Therese Bryce is not liking what he's seeing on the offensive end. So with a minute to go, he takes a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout coming your way. We're back in just a moment here on the K-Hawk Sports Network. First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville or Collinsville locations for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121, or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Generals decided after the timeout was called to change it to a 60-second timeout, so no problems there for us. We adapt all the time. 1:05 to go here in quarter number 2. And the first half coming to a close. 1-point lead for MacArthur. They have control of the ball, and at least for a moment. Richardson gets double teamed, almost took too many steps. Now a turnover. Hit the ball, Montgomery headmans it up to Mosley. Mosley with a fingertip roll. Lancers have their first lead of this game.
Defense to offense, points off turnovers. Lancers have really done well in that department. Normally, that's a department that Decatur and MacArthur is really good in. I'll be interested to see the points off of turnovers for both teams at the halftime.
Here is Richardson. He's across the line already as we are down to the final 30 seconds. About a 7-second difference in the shot clock. They'll throw one up there, and it won't matter anyway as Mackay Wright misses that one, but he'll head to the free throw line, and he is bummed out that one didn't fall for him because he could have turned it into 3.
Listen, this has been a fantastic second quarter. I know it took a minute for everyone to start their engines here in this one, but now it's a race, and both teams are playing good defense. Both teams are playing extremely hard, and it's everything you want in one of these semifinal games. And, you know,
Alex Jackson was the one who picked up the foul. That's his first, team 9th. So one more, and if it happens in the next 26 seconds, then someone from MacArthur will be shooting 2. At the free throw line, Mackay Wright, just 1 for 1 in this tournament. Now he is 3 for 3. Got a while to catch up to the 13 for 13 for Pickett, but he's on the way.
Same percentage. I guess that's the most important thing.
Exactly. Here is Pickett. Across the line, 15 seconds left. Here in this quarter, shot clock has been turned off all the way out to Pickett near midcourt.
MacArthur playing zone here, I think.
10 seconds left in the quarter. Pickett starts to make his move. Over to the left side, switches directions. Over to the right side, lost the ball. He traveled. That'll give the ball back to MacArthur, and they'll have 1.6 seconds to try to get a shot off as this inbound pass will come in on the near side sideline. Should be right around even with the top of the key, but
I think they're going to try to throw it cross court. We'll see. It looks like it's going to go in the hands of Tatum.
And that one is not going to amount to much. That one almost
closer to us than it was to the basket.
Almost had enough to bounce up here, that's for sure. All right, that is the end of one half of play. 1-point game. 25-24. Generals have the 1-point lead. We will take a break and we'll pass along the first half stats to you in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are K-Hawk Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go K-Hawks! Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Collinsville Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud sponsor of your Collinsville K-Hawks on the K-Hawk Sports Network. For all of your investment needs, see Jason Regg at his Edward Jones office at 1008 Vandalia Street in Collinsville, or call Jason at 618-344-0252 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC. The Collinsville Daily News, the new online source for everything newsworthy in and around Collinsville. This news source is designed to be the heartbeat of the Collinsville community and is owned and operated by members that live in this area. The Collinsville Daily News generates their revenue with local support from the community in which they serve and from advertising. They do not charge to read their content, so you'll never run into one of those annoying paywalls. Not only that, but the Collinsville Daily News offers free classified advertising. You have items you want to buy, sell, or trade? It's free to post. Wedding or engagements announcements, as well as obituaries, all free at CollinsvilleDailyNews.com. Plus, they have the content that matters most. Collinsville news you need to know, coverage of K-Hawk sports, and a keen eye on city news. The Collinsville Daily News also has an event tab that allows you to find out what is going on in and around the region for you and your family, the heartbeat of the community. Helping readers make sense of an increasingly chaotic world. Check them out at CollinsvilleDailyNews.com, on social media sites Facebook and Instagram. The heartbeat of this community is the Collinsville Daily News. Calling all sports fans. Looking for a great place to watch the game with your crew? Look no further than the Lucky Fox Sports Bar in Caseyville. The Lucky Fox shows Collinsville K-Hawk sports on the big screen, plus UFC fights, boxing, Cardinals and Blues, and all of the NFL games with the NFL ticket and enough TVs that you'll be sure to find the game you want. And the food? How about Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, plus burgers, sandwiches, pizza, steak, and more, including great drink specials and the coldest brew in town. And don't forget to try your luck at the Lucky Fox Gaming Room. Dine in and catch a game, or order carryout with the Lucky Fox. The Lucky Fox Sports Bar, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from K-Hawk Stadium. Open daily at 11 a.m. Check out the Lucky Fox Facebook page for daily specials. The Lucky Fox, 618-855-9500.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's
like a huge weight lifted.
In Collinsville, call Scott Allen at 618-346-1500. Chapman Trucking, LLC. Chapman Trucking is a local Collinsville business owned and operated by 1994 Collinsville graduate Christy Chapman. With over 10 years of experience, Chapman Trucking, LLC can take care of all of the heavy lifting when it comes to hauling aggregate materials such as sand, driveway rock, dirt, boulders, and more. That includes getting your heavy work equipment to your work site where it needs to be. Give Christy a call for a free estimate at Chapman Trucking, LLC, 618-960-9346, or online at chapmantruckingllc.net. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium, used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the K-Hawk Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com. Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, it is halftime, 25-24. Generals have the 1-point lead as we look at your first half stats. Very close game, and that's evident by the numbers. 38.5% from the floor for Decatur, and 36.4% for Belleville East. Leading scorer in this one. We're only one in double digits right now is Makai Wright. He has 10. Stevie Tatum has 6. 3 points for Azarian Richardson. 2 each for Sam Owens, MJ Murphy, and Chris Walker. Leading scorer for Belleville East is shared. Jordan Pickett and Antwine Wilson with 8 each. 4 for Mason Mosley. 2 each for Alex Jackson and TJ Montgomery. From the lines, 3-point line, Belleville East 2 for 6. Decatur is 3 for 10. From the free throw lines, Decatur is 2 for 2, while Belleville East is 6 of 10. Right now, the rebound battle being won by MacArthur, 17-15. And MacArthur has turned the ball over 7 times compared to Belleville East 6 times. Not a lot of points off of turnovers. Each team just has 2 points off of their turnover. So this game is just as close as the score would indicate. 25-24. The Generals have a 1-point lead over the Lancers. We're back with the second half in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune covers Troy, Collinsville, Maryville, and all the villages and communities of Madison County. From area city halls to sports, including the Collinsville K-Hawks and Unit 10 District News. The Times-Tribune covers that and more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper published every Thursday, and a 1-year subscription is only $40 for the printed and online editions. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Times-Tribune.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud K-Hawk alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pit master. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces that support our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on providing aid to the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop by and see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time World Championship Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at collinsvillebarbecue.com. Back one more time at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School. Todd Duke and Matt Clark with you in this first semi-final game between Belleville East and MacArthur High Schools. And right now it's MacArthur with the 1-point lead. And Belleville East has to be happy where they are, considering they were trailing by a few more than one a little while ago.
Yeah, they played a decent second quarter. They still got to get Jordan Pickett involved a little bit more. For one of the only 2 players here with D1 offers, and he's going to play D1 basketball next year, he's got to really step up and lead this team. You know, a championship here isn't easy. You need your best players on fire. You know, you think about Rayshawn Taylor, he played great the year when Collinsville won it.
Yeah, sure did. A little reverse layup, and that just misses the mark. And Jackson, he gets the rebound, tries to put it back up and in, but he is fouled, and that one is going to go against Chris Walker.
Yeah, another great rebound by Alex Jackson. Both him and Wilson have been pesky inside, getting the boards and winning some of those 50-50 balls that we've seen MacArthur win quite a bit. But now Alex Jackson needs to make his free throw. He's only made one of the 2 he shot earlier tonight.
And he'll miss the first one here. We've talked about it ad nauseum almost during this tournament, how important it is to make free throws.
And it feels like no team has really done it very
for Jordan
considerably
Pickett.
strong. Yeah.
13-13, Pickett is. Everybody else is probably under 50%. Jackson makes the second one. We are tied at 25.
This is going to be a close game throughout. I feel like it's going to be whoever, just thinking about it long term, whoever gets that last final push is probably going to get through to the championship game.
Here is Cunningham for the Generals, and he'll float it into the paint, take the shot, can't get it to go. Rebound, after it was tipped around for a while, belongs to Belleville East. Their numbers are hard to see when they're all the way down there. Here comes the Lancers, and it's Mosley out at the top of the key. Mosley does a little head fake, kicks it outside to Pickett. Three-point shot, a little bit too long. And the rebound, that belongs to Richardson for the Generals. Richardson brings it all coast to coast. No one got in front of him to slow him down, but luckily for the Lancers, he was a little off balance on that shot.
And that's, if I'm not mistaken, 3 on Alex Jackson. That is not a good sign, or actually just 2. Correction there. But no one stopped ball there for Belleville East on transition, and when no one stops ball, it's going to be really difficult for the refs to give Alex Jackson the benefit of the doubt there and say that that was a clean play because he got all the way to the rim.
Richardson to the free throw line for the first time in this game, hits his first one. And Richardson in this tournament, 4 for 4, so now he is 5 for 5. We've got some 1,000-point shooters going on here at the free throw line. Next one for Richardson. Also rattles in. 2-point lead back for the Generals. 27-25. We've only played 1 minute here in this third quarter. Here is Pickett. Pickett got caught in the backcourt and throws it across to Mosley. And, oh,
wow, he did it again.
Wow.
Darian Singleton had a save just similar, exactly the same on the defensive end in the first half, and he did it again, and it stunned number 11 for
Chris
the
Walker. I
Generals. Chris Walker.
I thought it was going to hit him in the chin. It bounced off of his chest, though, a little bit higher, and it would have got him right on the old kisser, if you want to call it that. Lancers with the ball. They trail by 2. Mosley swings it out and gets it into the hands of Singleton.
Going to do a little bit dribble handoff action here, I think.
Mosley back over on the left wing and lost the ball. And, well, too late for the shot clock, but Tatum is going to try to take a shot. No good. Rebound right. Still no good. Jackson trying to get the rebound again. And, oh, boy, is Jackson going to get called for his third?
Yes, he is. That's a huge and one from Mekhi Wright. Listen, Mekhi Wright in these last couple of games earlier today picked his spots to have big moments, and that is the biggest play of the game so far. I'm loving this matchup between Mekhi Wright and Alex Jackson, both 6'6", and they're just battling each other in there.
They actually gave that foul to Mason Mosley.
Oh, they did?
Yes,
wow.
they did. And no good on the third-point attempt, so it's just a 4-point lead now for MacArthur. As the Lancers get the rebound on the missed free throw, Pickett, he leaves somebody in their smoke trail, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, but a lot of MacArthur fans were kind of oohing and ahhing because they thought that there was an offensive foul there on Pickett. He hooked with his right arm on his way to the basket. Referees didn't call it.
MacArthur back to work. Here is Cunningham. Cunningham slings a pass out over onto the wing for Richardson. Into the corner, it goes back to Cunningham. He'll dribble and drive, and a charging foul.
It is a charging foul. And the referee was, I know I just spoke about the referee once, but he was emphatic making that charging call. He had to get out of the Belleville East Lancers' way in order to make that charging call. Almost punched him in the face.
Yeah, looking like Rocky over there. 29-27. Still just a 2-point lead for the Generals. Inbound pass comes into Pickett. Pickett slowly brings the ball up across the timeline as we approach 5.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. Pickett comes all the way over to the right side, dumps it off for Jackson, into the corner. 3-point shot on the way, good! Oh boy, Antoine Wilson nails it and gives his team back a 1-point lead.
Antoine Wilson is putting up a potentially MVP campaign here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic. Big shot from him. Lancers have the lead for the first time in a while, and Mason Mosley has picked up his third foul.
Mosley with a little reach-in foul just as Chase Cunningham got across the timeline.
Listen,
and 3 fouls for the Lancers now.
Couple of big Lancer players are getting into foul trouble, but the good news is that Antoine Wilson only has 1 foul. Jordan Pickett has 0, and those are the players you need to have in the game.
There's Richardson. Richardson approaches the top of the key, comes over to the right wing. Picks up his dribble, throws it in the paint, and off the glass. Good for 2 for Chase Cunningham. And the 1-point lead swings back to MacArthur's favor. Here comes Mosley. Mosley with a head of steam. They're going to call a foul on Azarian Richardson when it appeared to me Mosley just lost his feet.
Yeah, I couldn't see it quite well, but I think the referee, Jim Broadway, who made that call, may have seen a possible trip there. And that may have been why Mosley fell to the floor. But again, in games like this, there are going to be fouls that are going to be called that some teams are just not going to agree with. They're just 50-50 calls that some people will agree with and some won't.
Pickett gives the ball up. And there's a foul. That's a travel. I thought that maybe Tatum got his hands up into the face of Singleton, but that wasn't the case.
Well, the problem was that Singleton turned right into Mason Mosley. He was kind of standing up and guarding pretty well, and so the referee's going to give the defender the credit for there, and it's a turnover for Belleville East. Rough tournament for Darian Singleton, a really good player here thus far.
Here is Cunningham across the timeline. His team has the 1-point lead. Mosley better be careful. He's already got 3 fouls. He's playing a little handsy, and the rebound belongs to Jackson. Jackson clears everybody out with those elbows, gives it to Pickett. Pickett comes in, right side, 3-point shot from long distance, good.
And no reaction from Jordan Pickett. He looked at his bench, and now he's saying some stuff. That's about a college 3 right there.
That was
big 3
deep
for the Lancers, yep.
That was real
He'll be
deep.
making those in about a year with the Cougars.
We're almost halfway through quarter number 3. 2-point lead for the Lancers underneath the basket, and it wasn't a clean catch by Chase Cunningham, but he finds his own rebound and he'll put it back up. And they're not going to count it. He'll get 2 shots instead from the free throw line.
Decatur MacArthur has done a really good job of running those flex screens under the basket, and it was a good pass because he was wide open right there. And now they need to convert from the free throw line. And Chase Cunningham had a lot of free throws last game, Mr. Duke.
Antwine Wilson picks up his 2nd foul and sends the opposing number 2, Chase Cunningham, to the line. And Cunningham, he's been very good in this tournament from beyond the 3-point stripe. 8 for 12 coming into this game.
Talking about the free throw stripe, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yes, okay. I may have heard you wrong there, but listen, he hasn't had the best game tonight. Only 2 points.
And now 3. We're tied.
Or now 4. It looks like they added them both up there, but he need to have more for the MacArthur Generals down the stretch.
Halfway through quarter number 3, 33-33. 3-point try on the way, and good. Off of the hands of Jackson Muse.
Well, I was seeing Jackson Muse practice 3-point shots at halftime, and he was missing a couple, but he made it when it counted, Todd.
Yeah, it doesn't count in practice, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's why you practice.
That's exactly why you practice. 36-33. Belleville East, they'll pick up a loose ball. Try to extend that 3-point lead. Right now, that's their biggest lead of the night. Here come the Lancers. Mosley gets the pass into the paint. Throws it across the way. Singleton tried to get it in there. Excuse me, that was actually Muse. And now we're going to have a charging call the other way. Oh, boy. Stevie Tatum, he came charging in there and just not Pickett on his backside. Pickett had established.
And it's Jordan Pickett. That's a lead. That's a play that a leader makes right there. And a smart play from Jordan Pickett as well. Stevie Tatum's got to realize it's one-on-one. You can't just go straight into him there. Collinsville did that a couple of times in their game when they lost earlier today. It's a big momentum swinging play, especially when the Lancers kind of threw away that last possession.
3-point lead remains intact for Belleville East. Lancers bring it up. Here is Pickett. Pickett gets it over to Muse. Muse across the line to Lowry.
TJ Montgomery, I think, is in. Yep, and Tout Lowry's also in this game.
And over to Pickett. Pickett. They'll string it across
Double screen,
the
watch
ring.
inside.
And Montgomery, and that ball is out of bounds as Mekhi Wright runs right into Jeff Creek.
Yeah, Jeff Creek, the coach, loves to run that action with the double screen, trying to get players to go over to Jordan Pickett, and I would because Pickett's making his threes and then find an open player on the block on the inside.
Montgomery back near the midcourt stripe, 2:50 to play here in this third quarter. Here is Pickett, and Wright runs into Jeff Creek again. I don't know what happened with Pickett there, but he hit the side of the backboard, didn't even really get enough on it.
Yeah, shot clock was going down there. Had to force the shot up.
I did think I heard that horn go, meh. Wright collects the pass and knocks down one of the Belleville East players, but no call on that play.
That is a good no call, and Mekhi Wright was open there. That's a help defender from Belleville East, just trying to desperately take a charge. Mekhi Wright didn't really nudge his shoulder in there, so it's not a charge.
I don't know how Muse didn't lose his footing, but he takes it up to the bucket.
Wow.
And he bowls over Tatum in the process.
Massive minutes from Jackson Muse in this game. You know, they brought in those transfers, Darian Singleton, Antoine Mosley, but give credit to Jackson Muse. He's played in this tournament. He knows what it takes. He was a starter, I think, on that team that lost to Madison last year in the first round when they were supposed to be a contender for the title. And another big basket by Jackson Muse. May have double dribbled there, but he won't care.
Stevie Tatum with his 4th foul heads to the bench at the free throw line. Jackson Muse can't connect, so it remains a 3-point lead for Belleville East. The rebound belongs to MacArthur. They'll send the ball up to Richardson. Richardson, he gets double teamed, sends it across the line to Dees. Dees, he got his pocket picked, but they're going to call a foul instead.
Yeah, a lot of Belleville East fans were like, oh, that'll think that's a foul. But all 3 referees had their hands up in the air for a foul call right there, and when that's the case,
that one goes against
probably
Montgomery.
Is a foul call.
Montgomery picks up his first. Each team now with 5 fouls. We will have a timeout on the floor. It is a 30-second timeout, so we will step aside for that long as well, and we'll be back here in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Looking to buy a new home or sell your current home? Trust the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now, and you can trust the years of experience the Blaylock Group brings to the table. The Blaylock Group can help you find your dream home, or they can help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at the Blaylock Group of eXp Realty, 618-780-4622. That's 618-780-4622. The Blaylock Group of eXp Realty.
Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, 2:05 left to go here in quarter number 3. Good game here in this first semifinal matchup between Belleville East and MacArthur High School out of Decatur. 38-35, 3-point lead for the Lancers. With the ball, the Generals, and a foul that's going to be handed out to Lowry.
Yeah, you could tell the aggression, the excitement, the energy is starting to build. 11 fouls in this third quarter. Both teams will be shooting into the bonus, I imagine, in quarter number 4.
Another dribble drive by Richardson and another foul.
On Lowry again.
Wow. 2 in a row. And that's the 7th for the Lancers. So for the rest of this game, Decatur MacArthur is going to be shooting at the free throw line with every foul that Belleville East commits.
And we saw Decatur MacArthur beat O'Fallon in the free throw department. O'Fallon was trying to chip into the lead earlier in the quarterfinal game, way back yonder at 10 a.m. today. And MacArthur held them at bay because they hit their free throws.
And that's exactly what Richardson just does and gets his team back to within 2 points. Now, the Generals don't have many fouls to give either. They're already at 5. So this game is going to be won or lost at the free throw line, I think. Next one, good.
Tie game. This has been the best game of the tournament so far, I would say.
Lancers with the ball, trying to get out of a trap. They do so all the way up to Jackson. Jackson has to wait it out off the glass. Good. And the 3-point lead back intact now for Belleville East.
I love that Jackson went with a shot fake there. Even though he didn't get Mackay right up in the air, he didn't panic. He still went up for the layup and got the deuce to go.
There's Richardson at the midcourt logo. Throws the ball away.
Tell you what, Todd. I have watched Decatur MacArthur all 3 games. I've been able to experience all 3 of them with you. This is the most frustrated and out of feeling that I've seen Decatur MacArthur have in the entirety of this tournament.
Well, I thought Chris Walker was going to break toward the sideline. He never did break, but the ball kept going to where it was aimed. So the Lancers have a 3-point lead. They're looking to add on to it, and they will. A 5-point lead. Tallis Lowry says, forget about my 3 fouls. I'll give you 2 points, and that's the biggest lead of the night so far for Belleville East.
Massive possession here for Decatur MacArthur.
We approach 1 minute to go in this third quarter, and back with the ball is Chase Cunningham. Cunningham hands it off, and a foul by Lowry again. Wow. That's going to be his 4th. That's 3 in a row.
3 in a row since we came back on here from the timeout. Darian Singleton will check back in, and he's had a rough tournament thus far. This would be a great moment for him to get some big buckets for the Lancers.
1:05 to go. Back to the free throw line. Number 5, Zarian Richardson. He just hit 2 of 2 from there a moment ago. His team trails by 5, so these free throws are important. First one, good.
Be very interesting to see how Decatur MacArthur respond to this. A lot of these players for the Generals did not play in that team that won the championship last season. They were sitting on the bench. They got to watch what happened. And so we'll have to see, can the Decatur MacArthur Generals replicate what they did last season and win these close games? I mean, they won an OT versus Quincy last year. It was not easy, and it's not going to be easy tonight in this fourth quarter.
Richardson makes both of his 3 throws, gets his team back to within 3. We're under a minute to go, and a whistle will stop the action once again. Inbound pass will come from underneath the basket. It'll be triggered by TJ Montgomery. And Montgomery gets it into Pickett. Pickett turns around from the baseline, trying to back his way into the paint. He does just that, and he gets the fingertip basket for 2, and it's back to a 5-point lead for the Lancers.
Tell you what, it doesn't feel like Jordan Pickett has had 15, but those 15 points have come at huge moments for the Lancers in this one.
Sure have. Here is Richardson. Richardson tries to enter from the right wing, pulls up his dribble, gives it up outside for Dees. Dees pulls up in the perimeter, takes the shot, no good. Rebound, that's on the floor, and it's picked up by Dees. All the way back at the midcourt stripe near the scorer's table. He'll give it up now for Richardson.
Shot clock will be turned off now.
Almost lost his balance as we are down to the final 15 seconds here in this third quarter. 5-point lead for Belleville East. Richardson has the ball. And they have 10 seconds to make something happen here, do the Generals. Richardson from the right wing throws it into the corner for Wright. He almost lost the handle on it. We're down to 4 seconds. Richardson gives it up. Dees in the paint, takes the shot at the buzzer and falls just a little bit short. Into 3. 44-39 in favor of the Belleville East Lancers. We're back after a timeout on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for K-Hawk fans, before, after, or even during K-Hawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows K-Hawk games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, K-Hawk fans' pub of choice.
Back here at the Prairie Farms Holiday Basketball Tournament. We got a good one going on here. 5-point lead for Belleville East. They outscored the Generals in that third quarter 15-9 to erase a 1-point deficit and turn it into a 5-point plus for the Lancers.
This game for me really feels similar to what happened in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic Championship last season. MacArthur were struggling, and then they were down in the fourth quarter, but a 3-point barrage helped them win this game. And I think it's going to mean, and that's not a good start to the fourth quarter with the illegal screen. It looks like a push there, but MacArthur's going to have to knock down some shots here. East is playing their style of basketball, being very consistent, and they've done a good job of that. Can MacArthur make another comeback? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but Richardson just picked up his second foul. That is the Generals' 6th. So the next infraction by MacArthur will result in Lancers going to the free throw line, and there it is. Another one, back-to-back against Richardson. He'll pick up his 3rd, and Mr. Pickett will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and Mr. Pickett is not the gentleman you would want to foul.
No, he's only 13 for 13 in this tournament. We'll see if he can keep that hot shooting up. Right now, his team is up by 5.
And credit to him, and I think it makes these free throws be the largest Belleville East lead of the evening.
Yeah, they've already matched their largest. This is the second time they've had a 5-point lead. Pickett trying to make it 6, and he does. Stays perfect at the free throw line.
So Belleville East have figured out their offensive woes. What about their defense now? Does their defense come up to the cast? Because Decatur MacArthur are going to play a little more desperate basketball here. They're going to fling shots and fling themselves at the rim to try to get baskets. Can Belleville East handle that here against the defending champions?
Pickett, 15 for 15 from the free throw line in this tournament. 7:45 left to go here in this fourth quarter, We're just underway in quarter number 4, and a foul by Pickett this time. That'll be number 9 for the Lancers, I believe.
Man, it feels like possession foul right now. It might be just the team who shoots more free throws who wins this game.
We're going to have a lot of those. Both teams are in the bonus right now. One more foul by the Lancers, and MacArthur will be in double bonus for the rest of the game. At the free throw line, it is Stevie Tatum. Tatum, shot, good.
Yeah, and I imagine Tatum could have a big role to play here down the stretch. We know he can make some three-pointers. Could this be the moment where he hits 2 or 3 or 4 for the Generals? They need him in this final 7:42.
Next shot on the way from Tatum, and that one is also good. Back to a 5-point lead for the Lancers. Lancers work on bringing the ball up across the timeline. They get it there. Here comes Jordan Pickett. Comes in from the left side, has to reverse direction, takes it back out, and gives a pass up to Singleton. Singleton fires the ball over to Mosley. Mosley back to Singleton. Singleton on the near sideline, Mosley on the far side. Now Mosley works his way toward the middle, and then he'll shoot a pass over to Pickett. Pickett right back to him. Singleton, he throws it up underneath the basket, off the glass. Count the bucket and the bruise. And Twine Wilson will head to the free throw line for an old-fashioned three-point play.
And that's what that action is that Jeff Creek loves to run. Right open in the block on the double screen, opening it up to Antwine Wilson. And the 2 points here. And now the Belleville East Lancers are in a much better position. I was talking to there are a couple of people from Belleville East that have said they haven't played their best game yet. And tonight, I'd have to say that this is one of their best games, should they end up winning.
Wilson at the free throw line, shooting one. And he will miss it. Rebound,
there's Jordan Pickett.
Puts it back up. I'm sure they'll trade 2 points for 1 point any day.
And that's another big play. He has led this team, Jordan Pickett. One of the most impressive performances I've seen today from him because of his leadership.
Tatum misses the three-point shot. Rebound, that belongs to Antwine Wilson. They'll get it into the hands of Pickett, and Pickett will bring it up.
And you're going to see Belleville East be a little bit stalling more.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So it's an offensive foul, and we had talked about Pickett hooking with his arm to try to get around a defender earlier. The referee caught that time. If I'm Belleville East right now, I am playing controlled because MacArthur isn't shooting the ball really well, and Belleville East is rebounding the ball really well. So burn some shot clock off, burn some time off of this fourth quarter so that MacArthur run out of time themselves.
Now we're going to have a foul called away from the play, and this one's going to go against Darian Singleton, I believe. And boy, I tell you, Therese Bryson, he's out there dancing.
Yeah, making himself
not a happy dance.
About stamping on the V in the Virgil Fletcher gym lettering right there. Cunningham back to the free throw line here.
That was the first foul by Singleton. Cunningham, he'll hit another one. Get his team back to within 8. One more shot coming from Chase Cunningham. Good.
And a timeout here, I think, for Decatur MacArthur. 30 seconds.
Timeout on the floor. We will take a timeout. They amended that to 60 seconds once again. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage Team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Once again, Todd Duke and Matt Clark back with you from Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium here at Collinsville High School. 6:40 left on the clock here in this fourth quarter. It is a 7-point lead for the Belleville East Lancers, and they'll have possession of the ball as well.
I think this will be the hardest press in history right here. You're going to see an immediate trap from MacArthur. Watch it. Oh, Jordan Pickett got away from it.
There is Pickett. He'll bring the ball up court. Almost lost it. Reverses direction. Heads back toward the logo at midcourt. And he is being watched by Dees. He'll hand the ball off. And a foul coming up. They're gonna get Chase Cunningham on that one. He's not very happy about it.
Yeah, but Chase Cunningham has had a couple of trips to the line, so maybe I guess we talked about the season of giving a little bit earlier. Maybe he should give someone a trip to the free throw line. Another 50-50 call, and in these games, you cannot worry about the referees. And no, neither team is. Neither team is worried about the referees. The referees are just there to make sure they limit the game. But this game is going to be about the little things, like getting rebounds and making points and making shots.
Free throw missed. Rebound belongs to Wright and the Generals. They'll bring it up, and here is Cunningham. Cunningham near the scorer's table. On the right wing, gives it up to Dees. He'll launch a three-point shot. That one misses everything except for the hands. Uh-oh. We're going to have a foul called away from the play. That one's going to go against Pickett. He'll pick up his third.
Actually going to be Mosley with the foul there.
Oh, well, Mosley's out then, isn't he?
No, fourth.
Okay.
Wow. Here we go then. Feels like it's been Azarian Richardson and Chase Cunningham at the line every single time. And I think that's kind of helped Belleville East a little bit. They do not want Decatur MacArthur to make a big play and make something happen. Obviously, MacArthur's going to make their free throws, but Belleville East they're being stagnant. They're not letting MacArthur go on a massive run here. That's what MacArthur did against O'Fallon, and that's what gave them the lead and the big win.
Mosley out. And Montgomery in. A shot no good. Rebound, that belongs to Jackson. And now we have another whistle. All of a sudden, it's a whistle fest.
Yep. Again, we've told it again. It's going to be one at the free throw line. You said that in the third quarter. It's probably going to be run the free throw line. I saw the kind of the reactions here to the crowd of, the amount of fouls that have been called. But it's not like they're undeserved. It's not like the referees are purposely blowing their whistles because they want to make sure they wear them out. It's because a lot of these plays are fouls.
Double bonus for both teams now. That was the 10th foul by the Generals, so up to the free throw line is Mr. Jackson. First one from Jackson is good. 7-point lead. Tatum comes back in. Dees to the bench for MacArthur. Next one from Jackson. On the way. No good. Rebound. That belongs to Belleville East. Here's Pickett for three. Good! Oh, boy. Pickett has put this team on his back and carried them.
Well, everybody, look at Jordan Pickett here. Big man for the big moment. Where was Mackay right on that rebound? I don't know, but a great rebound by Wilson and a great shot by Pickett.
10-point lead for Belleville East, but don't rest on that because there's a lot of time left to go in this game. 5.5 minutes plus. Here is Tatum. He'll give the ball to Cunningham. Cunningham drives, misses the shot. Rebound belongs to Belleville East.
Man,
Lancers will bring it up.
MacArthur's missed some huge bunnies down the stretch here. Not good at all from them.
Here is Pickett. Pickett kicks it off outside. Three-point shot again. That one rolls all the way around the rim, and there is Wright with the rebound this time. He'll get it up into the hands of Richardson. Richardson will skirt it across the timeline. Dees is going to come back in next time he has the opportunity to for the Generals. Picked up dribble, now to Cunningham. He'll race through the paint, takes the shot, good.
Timeout here, I think, by Therese Bryson? Maybe?
Yeah, I think the referees called a timeout because something happened to Tatum.
Yep, Stevie Tatum is going to go to the bench. That's not great for MacArthur. They need to make sure they get him back in the game because he's going to make those three-pointers. Belleville East need to break this press right here. You cannot allow MacArthur's energy and their press to suffocate you here.
5 minutes to go here in quarter number 4. Inbound pass coming from Belleville East. They get it in, and immediately a foul called against Cunningham. He's not very happy about it, but Darian Singleton is. He'll go to the line.
A third foul on Chase Cunningham there.
Everybody's shooting two from here on out. This fourth quarter has really just kind of dragged on, hasn't it?
Yeah, dragged on and on here. There's going to be more fouls down the stretch because teams are trying, the team that's down, which would be MacArthur right now, is going to try to foul and get their way back into the game. Credit to East, though. They're making their free throws. MacArthur's making theirs in these cases.
Second semifinal between Rockford East and Quincy will not get started on time.
No, it will not.
Next one at the free throw line, good. Belleville East wants to call a timeout. We will take a timeout right along with them. It is a 60-second timeout, and we'll be back here in 1 minute on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and, of course, the Collinsville K-Hawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a K-Hawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes at Bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org.
Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, a very slow-moving fourth quarter. Slodges right along here. Slodges, is that a word? Slodge?
First and fourth quarter have kind of been like that, where stop, start until you start no more. And Stevie Tatum was about to check back into the game. Now he is good. I think they were just double-checking that he was all good and set to go.
Might have gotten poked in the eye or something. He was holding his hand up to his and his uniform jersey up toward his eye, so that might have been what happened. Here comes Cunningham. He'll give it up to Tatum. Tatum to the top of the key. He'll reverse direction and head back over on that wing and gives it up now for Wright. Wright. He'll try to dribble and drive around Jackson. That's a tough task to do, and he misses the shot. And the rebound, or the missed shot, belongs to Belleville East. And we have all kinds of stuff going on down there, and nobody wants to call anything.
Belleville's got to get down the floor, and yep.
They're going to have to call a timeout because they would have been trapped back there for 10 seconds. 30-second timeout for Belleville East. We'll step aside for that long as well. We're back here in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldheraldbrewing.com. Josh Levo scores for the Blues early on as the Blues have a 1-0 lead early against the Chicago Blackhawks. 4:24 left to play in this one. That one's going to be tipped, and a nice, nope, they didn't save it. I was going to say it was a nice save, but unable to keep his foot in bounds was Mekhi Wright, and that's going to be Lancer's ball.
Just spotted a couple of Edwardsville players in the crowd here over on the near side. Edwardsville, of course, in the MICDS tournament this year. Decided Holiday Classic, no longer in it.
Oh, we're going the other way with it as we have a foul coming up again with that flying elbow from Pickett. And he gets called again. That's his third.
Second offensive foul on Jordan Pickett. And, of course, that's offensive foul, so the Generals will not go to the free throw line there. Hey, the stop starts, I mean, it didn't help Jordan Pickett there, but it hasn't stopped him for the majority of the game. 22 points. An MVP caliber performance from Jordan Pickett today so far.
10-point lead for Belleville East as MacArthur has the ball right just inside of the perimeter. Over on the right side, now toward the top of the key for Richardson. Richardson lost control of the ball, found it again, and Cunningham will go up and get the 2-point bucket. And another foul coming up. This one looks like it's going to go against Jackson. Well, it will.
Yep, and when the chips are on the line and MacArthur need a bucket to try to get themselves back into this game, Chase Cunningham makes the play.
Pretty money from the free throw line, too. Wrong guy to foul.
Yeah, it is the wrong guy to foul. Talk about a MacArthur team that obviously hasn't been tested very much like this. MacArthur, I told you earlier this tournament, won every game by double digits coming into this one.
Yep.
And Suddenly, they ain't going to win this one by double digits. If anything, they're going to pull it out barely.
Well, right now it's a 7-point lead for Belleville East, and the Lancers, they have the ball with a head of steam. A bounce pass onto the wing.
Belleville East need to take it out right now. Try to burn some shot clock.
Jackson has the pass bumped away from him, and that's going to go against Makai Wright. And more free throws coming up for Belleville East.
Couple of these calls have just been tough. I mean, I get it. I get it. There's nothing that the referees have gotten blatantly wrong here today, but some of these calls have just really stopped some huge runs for both teams. Big free throws coming up for Alex Jackson.
Jackson, he's ready to go. And no good on the first one.
This is where MacArthur can make their run, because now they're smelling blood. They feel the energy building in the crowd and in this stadium. They want to repeat. They don't want this to be the end for them.
The next one from Jackson. That one does fall in. Hits the front of the rim, then kisses off the glass and goes in. And it is an 8-point lead now for Belleville East. 3:43 left to go here in this fourth quarter. Honey, I'm going to be late. All right, here comes MacArthur. They trail by 8 points. Here is Cunningham. Puts on a spin move on the wing. Into the corner. Dees for three. Yes!
This is a game now. This is a real game right now. That was a huge three from King Dees. And here we go.
Here comes Belleville East. Why would you even do that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. You
Offensive foul.
How?
Offensive foul.
How? You tell me how. He's coming up the court. Bouncing the ball, gets across the line. He gets ran into by Richardson, and he gets the call.
Not 100% sure. I have no affiliation to Belleville East or to Decatur MacArthur in any way.
I just don't understand how that's called offensively.
What I will say is when you call so many fouls, there is one that you might get right or wrong, and suddenly the ball is back to MacArthur.
Mason Mosley's out of this game. That's huge for Belleville East.
Yep.
He is fouled out.
Oh, here we go.
Three-pointer for Dees in the corner. Oh, boy. Just like that, it's a 2-point game.
And this is what happens when MacArthur makes their three-pointers. Here we go, folks. 3 minutes to go. A spot to the championship on the line. And it is a 2-point game.
Man, oh, man. You talk about a big swing of momentum here. Number one, Mosley gets fouled on his way down to court. He can't believe it. Belleville East is beside themselves because they don't understand the call either. In the meanwhile, while everybody's fuming about a bad foul call, MacArthur goes back to work. They get back-to-back three-pointers from King Dees in the corner.
Yep, and Belleville East, we're talking about a team that is undefeated for the first time since 2012. Their best start since that season. This is a real test of their will and their strength. This game right here, we're talking about these next 3 minutes will tell me, personally, if Belleville East can make a deep run in this year's state tournament with Jordan Pickett. And I haven't seen Jordan Pickett in the last 2 or 3 minutes. He needs to get involved. He needs to get the basketball. He needs to be involved in every single play and lead here with everyone watching him.
Pickett has 3 fouls, so he might be taking it easy on that department, but here he comes, streaking up the near sideline, throws the ball up, and now
he traveled. Yes, he did travel. And the referee on the near side, Jim Broadway, makes the correct call there on the fast break. Another 2-on-1 opportunity, and suddenly all they needed, Decatur MacArthur, was one little chance, and they have made it into a big moment here.
That first three-pointer in the corner from Dees really got them fired up, and they haven't stopped since then. Now they're trying to tie it up or take the lead, and a loose ball is going to be turned over, and it's going to go back the other way.
Yep. Oh, man. Flustering for Decatur MacArthur. They just got in their own way there. They did that in the game against O'Fallon. And now they really need that. They needed that possession.
They had 2 guys going for the ball, and they ran into each other.
That's true.
Belleville East trying to throw the ball in. Instead, they'll just throw it off of the body of Cunningham, and it bounces back out of bounds, so they'll try it again. Tucked there in that corner, right at the end of the MacArthur bench. It's got to be
very tough
to throw the ball in from there.
It's tough because Jeff Creek has burned a couple of timeouts. He wants to save some for the end of this game.
Oh, Makai Wright trying for the interception. Wanted to step in front of Montgomery. He did so, but he couldn't hold on to the ball.
Decatur MacArthur are playing like their basketball lives are at stake, and they are in this tournament right now, but it's going to be hard for even Belleville East to get an inbounds passed in.
Well, Antoine Wilson is glad that he got to move up to the scorer's table at least.
Yep.
2:45 to go here in this fourth quarter. It's a 2-point contest. Lancers, they have the lead. Here is Singleton. Singleton in front of his own bench. Wants to get around Wright. Can't do it. Throws it right into the hands of Wright. He leads Cunningham. Cunningham off the glass. No good, but put back by Wright. We're
10-0 run from the Decatur MacArthur Generals, and this is just what they do. That's a foul. Pickett will go to the line here as he was driving forward. And I think that is Azarion Richardson, and that's his fourth.
His fourth foul for Richardson. Look at the coach for MacArthur. He is just so animated.
15 made free throws, if I'm not mistaken, from Jordan Pickett.
15 for 15.
So much fast pace, so much energy. Jordan Pickett needs to make sure he calms down, slows himself down, and makes these free throws right here. I always love how calm he is before he shoots his free throws. He needs these right here for East.
Shooting 2, makes the first one.
If you're Belleville East, you have got to make sure you guard the three-point shooters for Decatur MacArthur. I'm talking about Stevie Tatum, 23, and King D's number 10. And you have to rebound the basketball on this defensive possession.
Pickett, one more shot, and he is now 17 for 17 from the free throw line in this tournament. 2-point lead. Back to a 2-point advantage for the Lancers.
Defensive substitutions here for Belleville East. Jackson Muse, T.J. Montgomery, two good defenders coming into the game.
Inbound pass comes into Cunningham from Dees. Cunningham starts to work his way up across the timeline with a pass to Tatum, a no-look pass to Dees, who gets it to Walker, and he's in for 2. Oh, boy. That's another big basket there by Mekhi Wright.
Mekhi Wright making some big plays, just like Pickett is on the other end.
We're tied at 59. Here come the Lancers. Pickett gets it across the line to Montgomery. Montgomery backs up to his own bench, throws it back over to Pickett. Pickett waits. We're under 2 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter of a tied game. Here comes Pickett making his move in the paint, off the glass, good for 2. Pickett showing a major league move there, just slicing right through that crowd of players.
Yep. How much does Pickett have left in him? They're going to need a couple more big moments from him in this game, I'd think.
There is Richardson for MacArthur. At the top, free throw line, takes the shot, can't get it to go.
Didn't rebound it.
Rebound,
that's
and
good hustle.
it's out of bounds.
It's going to stay with the Generals right there. Got to rebound the basketball if you're Belleville East. There is no more important time to box out. Because if you get the basketball back, then Decatur MacArthur's going to have to start playing the foul game. And he's just hit their free throws pretty well in this game. They've done well in that department.
Cunningham will trigger the inbound pass. He'll do so to Richardson. Richardson just inside the perimeter on the right side. Spin move, shot, glass, good. We're tied again.
Oh, and Mekhi Wright has just fallen to the floor, and yeah,
wow.
That is
He's having
not
a hard
good.
time getting up.
That is not good. He took a slip, hopefully, and Amanda Bauer, I think, was just about to come out, and it looks like she said, yep, he's okay. That slip did not look good from our view here on the far side. That's about as far as the court goes since we're on the back of the left side here. And Mekhi Wright,
looks like he might have twisted that left ankle for a minute, but not bad enough to.
But the referees have to take him out of the game because he went down, and when there's an official stoppage, you have to take the player out of the game. Azarion Richardson had the size advantage there on that bucket. That doesn't happen very often. It also gave the opportunity for Belleville East to bring in their offensive substitution. So Darian Singleton is back in the game.
61-61 is our score. 1:18 left to play here in this fourth quarter.
Double teaming Jordan Pickett here on the inbounds pass. No one on the inbounder here. Still gets the ball. Wow.
He still gets the ball. Here is Pickett. He'll shoot it across the way to Montgomery. Montgomery backs up for 3. That's a little too strong. And the rebound belongs to MacArthur. Chance for the Generals to regain that lead. It's been a Belleville East lead for a while, besides the points where we've been tied. MacArthur hasn't led for quite some time. They're going to try as we are under a minute to go here in this fourth quarter. Here is a dribble drive. Now they're going to hand it off to Richardson. He'll pop it from about 10 feet out. No good. Rebound belongs to Belleville East.
There's only one person that needs to be taking the next shot for the Belleville East Lancers, and it's number 1, Jordan Pickett.
Ball across the timeline from Singleton. Singleton, and a timeout called by the Lancers with 38.8 seconds left to play. We'll step aside as well. We're back in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
Back at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, we got a good one going on here. 38.8 to go, 61-61 between MacArthur and Belleville East. Another tight one going on in the auxiliary gym, as McClure North and Mundelein are only separated by, 3 points?
4 points.
4 points.
61-57 to the McClure North Stars. That's a trip to the Consolation Championship game tomorrow.
Sure is. Sure is. Semifinals going on in both gyms. All right, here comes the final 35 seconds. And the Lancers with the ball in a tied game. They'll have to get a shot off. The shot clock is at 15 seconds.
McClure,
and here is Montgomery.
MacArthur playing zone here, trying to get something different out of it.
Singleton over to Montgomery once again. They'll get the ball. And a travel, oh boy, by Antoine Wilson. And that'll put the ball back in MacArthur's hands, and it'll turn off the shot clock.
Yep. I'm thinking to myself, in the game that I played at the regional championship, Belleville East had a chance to win it at the line, and they missed it. And just down the stretch, you cannot have plays where you turn the basketball over or you're missing easy shots. And that's just that's a mistake that you cannot have, and Antoine Wilson is frustrated on the bench.
Well, this has been fun. This has been the best game of the tournament.
Absolutely. Definitely one of the best games of the tournament against two incredible teams. People will be talking about this game when talking about these two teams, even in postseason play. And I could see both of these teams making deep runs in the postseason. You talk about a MacArthur team who has the basketball as a chance to win. They were coming into this tournament because they were hoping to prepare for Sacred Heart Griffin, who was a really good team up in Springfield. They said that they weren't yet ready to play that team. I think the experience that they've had today against a good Belleville East squad will help them in Central State 8 play.
The team's getting ready to take the court. Rockford East and Quincy, they're all standing in front of their locker room doors watching the end of this one. They're just as into it as everybody else is.
And they might have to wait a little bit longer. Decatur MacArthur won in an overtime last season. Very similar situation against Quincy, but they'll have a chance to win it in regulation right here. If you're Belleville East, the referees have been doing a lot of foul calling. You cannot afford to take a foul here.
No, you cannot. You don't want to give this game away on the free throw line. 19.5 seconds to go. We are tied at 61, and the inbound pass is going to come right at the end, or the beginning, if you will, of the Belleville East bench, and it'll be triggered by Richardson. Richardson gets it in for Tatum. Tatum waits a little bit, gives it to Cunningham, down to 15 seconds. No shot clock now. Cunningham comes across the midcourt stripe. MacArthur trying to go for the walk-off win. Here is Cunningham at the top of the key, gives it up to Tatum. 5 seconds left. Tatum rolls it around into the corner. Dees, shot, no good. We're going to overtime.
Not a great possession from MacArthur there. It looks like their set didn't go. And here we go, OT again. First time a game has been played in OT in the Prairie Farms Holiday Classic this year.
We have an extra quarter coming up for you, and we'll tell you all about it next on the K-Hawk Sports Network.
Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our K-Hawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a K-Hawk, always a K-Hawk. Hashtag K-Hawk Family. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East and Termite Management. Do you have unwanted pests? then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite.
Four minutes on the clock here for our first overtime of this tournament. And the tip-off won by MacArthur. We're knotted at 61. Semi-final game. One of these teams is moving on to the championship. Will it be the defending champs, MacArthur Generals, or will it be Belleville East? We'll find out maybe in 4 minutes. MacArthur with the ball. Here is Cunningham. Cunningham gets blocked off by Jackson back out front, and a shot for three. That one tips off the rim by Tatum, and out of bounds it goes. The Lancers will have the ball.
More flex offense right there, and I think they're going to take Tatum out of the game right here. They need those points to go in. Chris Walker, I think, will check in for Tatum. This is where fouls start to become really important. Jordan Pickett has picked up 3 fouls. Antoine Wilson picked up 3 fouls. It was tough not having Mason Mosley in the game for the East down the stretch there. That's when they gave up that huge run that has made this an overtime game. East had this game won with about when we were halfway through the fourth quarter.
Richardson has 4 fouls for MacArthur, so we'll have to keep an eye on number 5. Here is Pickett, almost lost the dribble, picks it up, cuts through the lane, takes the shot, can't get it to fall. Rebound, knocked out of the hands of Singleton, and here comes Richardson. And the MacArthur Generals, they'll throw it into the paint. Cunningham, fingertip, can't get it to go. Rebound, knocked out of bounds. Back to Belleville East, the ball will go.
This is the best game I've seen Alex Jackson play in his career, and I've played against him multiple times. He just fought off 2 rebounders. I know the ball went out of bounds, but that's a huge possession for Belleville East to get back, especially when MacArthur has been getting some of those rebounds in this game.
61-61. That's our score as we go to overtime. Already 1 minute gone in the overtime period, and up with the ball are the Lancers, and Singleton kicks it back outside. Here's a 3-point shot. That one misses the mark off of the hands of Pickett, and the rebound belongs to MacArthur. Richardson brings it up across the timeline. 2:40 left to play here in overtime. No one has scored yet here in this overtime frame. Richardson, left-hand dribble, takes it to the top of the key. Right-hand dribble into the perimeter, kicks it back out, and it goes into the hands of Cunningham. Cunningham, he'll drive into the paint, the perimeter, back outside now. Richardson, he'll drive. Get that out of here, says Mr. Antoine Wilson.
7 seconds on the shot clock, and I just want to go back to Pickett's shot over on the other side of the court real fast. I'm wondering if in game 2, with the chips down and everything on the line, if Jordan Pickett's legs are getting really tired here, especially since he's really helped this team in game number 2.
Here is Cunningham. After the inbound, and brush across the face. Darian Singleton got that arm up, and Richardson ran right into it like a clothesline.
Yeah, we've had a couple of soft fouls in this game, but that was definitely a straight-up foul. And Chase Cunningham, for what seems like the millionth time today, is at the free throw line. He's got a lot of responsibility along with Pickett to make free throws and lead his team in that way.
Well, looks like our first points of this overtime period are going to come from the line, and Cunningham, solid as usual from the charity stripe. And the Generals have a 1-point lead. Pickett has to come get a drink.
That goes to show you that he's feeling the pain. He plays a lot of minutes for this East side.
Both in for Cunningham, 63-61. Lancers, they bring the ball up as we approach 2 minutes to go here in overtime. Here is Pickett, across the line, trying to use a screen. Ball gets loose, but it's picked up by Singleton. Back over to Pickett. Over onto the far side for Montgomery. Into the corner now. That is Wilson. Wilson tried to drive that baseline, but
great
ran out
pass.
of room. 3-point shot. Go! Off the inside of the rim. Ball popped up into the air. Richardson's the one who comes away with it for MacArthur.
It's a big 50-50 ball won there by Decatur MacArthur, and now they have the opportunity to get a 2-possession lead.
There is Cunningham at midcourt. Cunningham comes in from the right side. They're going to say, if you're going to let me come in, I'll come in and shoot. Rattles it home. 4-point lead for the Generals. 90 seconds left in this overtime period.
The man with the specs leading the Decatur MacArthur Generals here.
Here is Pickett. Pickett drives in off the glass. Can't get it to go. Charge.
Offensive foul.
Pickett looks like he might be hurt.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He did have a foot problem in the first game against Lincoln earlier today. I don't know if that, he's apparently turned his ankle according to assistant head coach Keith Padgett, but we'll have to see if that ends up being something that is a big deal. I know Jordan Pickett once told Stephen Stock of the Belleville East Broadcasting Club, if you make a mistake, you can go and get it right back. That's one of his favorite things about basketball. He needs to make up for his mistake there.
Fourth foul for Pickett, and they're trying to break the backcourt pressure, and they do, all the way up to Tatum. Alley-oop! Oh, boy.
It's high flying from the Generals. Huge play there, and Jordan Pickett is limping off the court as the Lancers take a timeout.
6-point lead for the MacArthur Generals, 1:04 left to go. Timeout on the floor. We're back in just a moment on the K-Hawk Sports Network. Back here at Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium, Todd Duke and Matt Clark with you on the call of a very exciting first semifinal game of the night. This is everything. This is what basketball is all about.
Yep, got the Decatur MacArthur fans dancing in the stands. Can't see them on our screen right now, but they are enjoying it after that huge dunk by Mekhi Wright. Brought the house down here, and now Belleville East need to find a way to respond, and with a beaten down Jordan Pickett, who has played this game and given absolutely everything for Belleville East.
6-point deficit for Belleville East to come back from. That's a 2-possession game. And the first one starts right now. They get the ball across the line and into the hands of Singleton. Singleton over on the wing for Montgomery. Montgomery hands the ball off to Jordan Pickett. He has that three-point shot blocked, and that's going to go against Dees. And Dees will pick up foul number 3.
I was just about to say they cannot continue to waste time. They need to shoot some shots. And again, Jordan Pickett needs to make all 3 of these free throws, make it a 1-possession game. And Belleville East is going to have to play the foul game here and hopefully maybe chip away from this.
17 for 17. Pickett is from the free throw line in this tournament. If he can sink all 3, he'll be 20 for 20.
And they don't necessarily have to foul Belleville East, and this is granted if we think that Jordan Pickett's going to make all of his free throws, which I assume he will. We'll have to see.
Tough.
Maybe I jinx him there, but the shot clock's at 35. Belleville East will have some time on the other end. Will at least have time if they can stop Decatur from scoring.
Referee says, I didn't call for you yet.
Yep, because it's a 3-shot foul.
Yeah.
Comes in on the second shot.
Tatum was a little over-anxious on getting in there.
They had a little laugh about it, though, at the scorer's table. I saw both of them.
Pickett trying to make 2 in a row. And he does. One more try coming his way. Get it down to a 3-point game.
The difficulty is also, I can continue to talk about fouls. It's tough because all these MacArthur players can make free throws, and you're banking on them missing 2. So if I'm Jeff Creek, I am playing this possession out defensively and getting the rebound and getting the last shot.
And Pickett makes all 3 of them. It's a 3-point game once again. 67-64. 47.9 seconds left to play here in this first overtime period, and MacArthur is going to get the ball. Dees will bring it out.
Now, Belleville East needs to be careful that MacArthur doesn't break the press. Watch the long pass coming in, maybe not.
Get the ball to Cunningham. Cunningham used a player or 2 to get that ball going on. Here is Tatum. Tatum.
And you can trap here without fouling.
Dees gets it back into Tatum, who gets it into Cunningham underneath. Mekhi Wright with another slam dunk home. 69-64. MacArthur with the lead. 25 seconds left in overtime. Here comes Pickett. 3-point shot. Top of the key. No good. Rebound. Contested. Jackson. He'll get it, and then he'll lose it. And then we have a foul called.
3 players on the floor. 2 players for Belleville East. Wilson's down. I think he's caught a cramp over there on the near side. And it's going to be a foul on MacArthur. And look at Jackson Muse right there. He would do something like that. I played against him. I know him. He's a bit of a goofy one and making sure he takes care of business Muse. And cleans up for Nick Graff, who was supposed to be sweeping it up for him. Need both free throws here if you're Alex Jackson, though.
Yeah, you do. Jackson at the free throw line. As his team right now trails by 5. First one, no good.
Now the foul game has to be played if you're Belleville East. But I'm not seeing who you foul.
Yeah. Jackson has one more try coming his way.
And Mackay Wright made the plays when it mattered. Deered down the stretch. Really frustrated Belleville East, and this is going to be a crucial loss, a crushing loss if Belleville East ends up leaving with it.
Jackson makes the second one of the two, and it's a 4-point contest. 15.6 seconds to go. MacArthur with the ball. Here is Tatum. Tatum circles in the defensive end, and committing the foul was Montgomery, and that will send Tatum to the free throw line with 10.8 seconds to play in this overtime.
Man, you know what? Credit to all of these players that have played tonight. They have put their bodies on the line. They have played as hard as humanly possible. But you talk about Decatur MacArthur, they are the comeback kings, and they never give up. Belleville East, again, it was 60-50. They had this game won, and MacArthur said, we're going to take care of business. We're going to come back, and it only took one possession, one little layup for MacArthur, and then now in the overtime period, it's turning into Mackay Wright making huge dunks.
Tatum makes the first one, gives his team 70, and there's number 71. So a 6-point, 2-possession game, 10.5 to go. Here comes Pickett, top of the key, 3-point shot, swoops in, won't stay, and the rebound belongs to Wright, and MacArthur is going to hold on to win. 71-65, MacArthur will defend their championship in the championship game tomorrow night at 7:30. Boy, what a game that was.
An incredible game, and champions do things like that. MacArthur never gave up, made the comeback. Belleville East made a couple of really key errors down the stretch, and MacArthur took advantage of them. I tell you what, this Decatur MacArthur team down the stretch deserved that victory, and Belleville East will play in the third-place game.
So it goes. You get to take a rest, man. I got another game coming up.
Hopefully it's as fun as this one, I would say.
Rockford East and Quincy. That's coming your way next on the K-Hawk Sports Network.